Welcome to the Uplander Daily Show, the show for buying and selling deals on Upland. I'm your host, Earthshaker. Welcome back, guys, to a huge news-packed episode with so many nuggets you might think this is a Chick-fil-A. Why do I always crave Chick-fil-A on a Sunday? Guys, I was not planning on doing an episode today, but so much has happened this weekend, I had to put something together for y'all. First, I want to thank all of my viewers and my new subscribers. Thank you so much. You guys are the reason why I make this show today. I really appreciate you. Your likes and subs motivate me to put out the best show, and you can impact my content by leaving a comment. All right, let's get started. Yesterday, Upland announced that they are auctioning off a Rockefeller Center on Monday. Bids are starting at a pretty 40 million UPX, and the kicker is the winner gets some TV time. Apparently, Upland will be featured on a documentary show, and if Rockefeller Center is purchased in time, the buyer gets to be interviewed on the show. Will this be the ultimate showdown, an auction between Dizzy and Venom? Or will we see an underdog come in and take the cake and sweep it out of from under their feet? I guess you'll have to check back on Tuesday to find out. Well, we've got an Oakland rollout update, along with some future wave information, some fixes. Also going to round out Oakland information with our user of the day who offered up an Oakland multiplier chart. And don't miss the new city speculation. Where's that going to be? We've still got our daily information, and it is also pretty earth-shattering. I can't believe some of these numbers. We have city market information, interesting properties as well, and this biggest transactions today, it's turned into a whale watching party. All right, let's get started with our interesting properties of the day. The dream property today, I mean, it's gotta be Rockefeller Center, guys. No other choice here. It's going for 40 million UPX or more, depending on the auction. You know, if we get multiple bidders, we could see that thing go way up from there. Sky's the limit. I mean, if you had $40,000 lying around, you'd go for it. You know you would. Our high-end property from 1 million to 200,000 UPX is 963 Oak Street in Oakland. And what makes this property special is it's going for about 300 UPX for 79 UP2. But it's right next to the train station where we just had a property go for $10,000. So in the long run, I think it's a property that might pay off. Stay tuned for that. More information about that $10,000 property. For our premium property category from 200,000 to 30,000 UPX, I picked a city. I'd check out the unminted properties in Manhattan. Personally, there are a bunch of unminted stuff in that range from the Gramercy neighborhood, East Village, and Upper West Side all have a couple. And I think Manhattan's going to do really well in the long run from a business and a tourist kind of perspective. So might be a good place to buy it while everyone else is out in Oakland in that premium property category in Manhattan. In the affordable property category, I think, go for anything in Piedmont Collection in Oakland. That's under 30,000 UPX. There's a couple dozen under 30,000 right now. I mean, I don't know about future value. I just like the collection there. I think it's a cool collection. For our city stats, we have San Francisco still at 0. Left unminted, obviously, locked at 100. Oakland, 21,390. All FSA properties available, 50,900 locked. That is 23,700 properties gobbled up since the open of Oakland. But there are 6,000 for sale if you'd like to get in, although I'm sure most of those are above mint. With only a fraction of Oakland minted, however, there are chances that the prices might fade away after the initial rush. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Oakland opened differently at much higher demand than other cities in the past, and you can see that on the UPX World chart if you go and look at the statistics on the dashboard there. You can see other cities open with a huge increase in inventory, but with the Oakland open, there is barely a blip. The game is changing and competition is getting more fierce, it looks like. At Fresno, we've got 4 properties available, all FSA, 8,000 locked, that's unchanged from yesterday. Manhattan, we're sitting at 477 with 20 locked. That is a drop of about 100 per day this weekend, and I bet we're looking at being sold out by Tuesday or Wednesday. I would say definitely by Thursday. Brooklyn is coming in at 2,500 unminted properties, 23,300 locked, and that's down over 13,000 over the last 2 days. Oh my gosh, guys. Properties are just getting minted off the press, gobbled up at a rate that is increasing for sure. Who knows how long it'll be till we have 0 unminted properties available, but it doesn't look far off. Our markup floor this morning is hovering around 100% in San Francisco, Brooklyn, and Oakland is coming around about 110%, Manhattan at 112, Fresno tops out at 140, and will be interesting to see what happens on these floors over the next couple of weeks. With unminted properties going to basically 0, we should see some appreciation, but who knows if that'll materialize. We'll just have to wait and see there. And if anyone knows what's going on in Fresno, I would not expect Fresno to be up at 140% floor and performing so high in some of these areas. So if you know what's going on down there, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Getting into yesterday's largest transactions, we might need to change the title of this segment to the whale watching segment. The largest minted transaction in UPX was $16 million for 3,000 UP2, and that was done by no other than Venom. Huge Dumbo purchase for Venom, and it also helps him edge out Dizzy on the overall leaderboard. Now we've got Venom about 800,000 UPX over Dizzy. This is a hot whale race, and can't wait to keep an eye on this and see how it unfolds over the next coming days here. Would be great to see what happens with the Rockefeller purchase. Does Dizzy decide to up the ante and take over? The honorable mention for the largest UPX transaction has to be Tolga. He came in close at 13 million UPX for 2,600 UP2. It was also a purchase in Dumbo, but Venom was not to be outdone this weekend. Largest secondary UPX transaction was 1.9 UPX for 105 UP2, and that's 133 Water Street in Brooklyn by none other than Venom. Yep, that's right. Also in the Dumbo neighborhood. He was on a Dumbo grab this weekend. Largest secondary fiat transaction. Guys, I'm surprised, but should I stop being surprised? We're at $10,000 again.
Cha-ching.
That's 3 times in the last 5 days. This one was for an Oakland train station spot, and it was paid by Ashman Bro. It's a very interesting purchase as it sets the value for these train station properties. And, it sets kind of the history here of the train of different $10,000 transactions over the last 5 days, which makes me wonder if the upper limit of fiat is high enough. There were 60 other fiat transactions in the last 2 days, and now the top fiat transactions, we got the top 3 at 10,000, like I said. The 4th comes in at 1,200 about. 5th is 1,000. There's a number of other $1,000 purchases too. And things are heating up in the fiat world. Today's user of the day is none other than Thank Me Later, or TD, in the Discord. He is an Upland OG and really just a really smart player with a dedication to the game that makes him super competitive. And I just wanted to show you real quick some nuggets he was dropping in the Discord. I really added a lot of value to me. So Little Italy group that he's part of put out this, what it's called is like the property multipliers for different neighborhoods out in Oakland. So check that out in the Discord, search him on the Discord, and you can find more of this information there. But basically what this is it's a different multipliers for different neighborhoods in side of Oakland, so kind of tells you how expensive the properties will be per UP2. So what you do basically is take this base price, multiply it by the number of UP2, and then you get the price of the property in that neighborhood. And the only other caveat, though, is if you're looking for a property that's in a collection, you have to take that number and then multiply it by the collection multiplier. So for example, let's see, we could do a property in the Old City neighborhood. I pulled one up. We could do here. I pulled one up here. We could do, let's choose one that's for sale here in Old City. We'll find one. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. All right, let's choose. This one looks good on 8th Street, 561 8th Street. So that property size is 25 UP2. And what we can do is go over here and find the Old City multiplier. It's right up here at 100. So 25 times 100. You'd expect the mint price of that property then to be 2,500 UPX. And there's no multiplier because it is not in a collection. So let's check on that. All right, so I pulled up UPX World to check out the minted value of 561 8th Street and Old City. And it is right here, 561 8th Street. So, yep, 2,500 UPX was the mint price. So based on the multipliers, that's how you can figure out what your properties are going to be worth and can help you figure out your strategy for the coming releases in Oakland and the next waves. We can look real quick and see, downtown, for example, it's going to be a very hot neighborhood. Let's just do a quick calculation here on downtown to see what we'd spend for a property down here. So let's do 1511 Franklin Street. This is the first one I clicked on. UP2 size is 106. So we need to pull up our, so there's our preview of base prices. So downtown would be 100 plus a rare collection. So it's, what did we say it was? 106 UP2 on this downtown property. 106 times 100 is 10,000, but it is in a collection that's rare. So we got 116,600 UPX is what we would expect the mint price to be on that downtown property. So you can kind of go through the different neighborhoods in Oakland here before the next wave release and really start to develop your strategy based on what kind of player you are or want to be. And finally, an update on the Oakland release. You may know Oakland had kicked off a little bit laggy. I was definitely one of those users feeling the lag. Multiple users had reported trouble loading or sending to properties for about the first 1 to 2 hours of the launch. The Upland team decided to hold off on releasing anything further after the standard collections, those collections being East Bay and Piedmont. In the release, they mentioned that their commitment to onboarding a top-level team took the highest priority. However, they recognized the issues they had during the Oakland release and did take responsibility for those. They reported that the Oakland release, they solved many of the Brooklyn issues, but traffic was 2.5 times higher than previous launches, bringing to light some new bottlenecks they had. They said they identified a majority of those issues and would be working to resolve them early this week. They're planning to stress test their fixes afterwards, so we could possibly see another Oakland wave late this week, but I think we're more likely looking at the following week, maybe early on the next week. It will be interesting to see what happens. Meanwhile, as properties that are unminted hit 0 or near 0, might add to some appreciation there. Rumors have been floating around about the next city to be released in Upland after Oakland. I mean, we're not even the whole way through the Oakland launch, and we're in need of some more properties, that's for sure. Now, will the next city be domestic to the US, or are we looking at an international city? I know a couple people in the know have been teasing about an international city release. However, rumors been floating around the Discord that the next city will actually be in the US, maybe a Queens release. I think that rumor got started because UPX World has a Queens listed in their cities now. It is claimed that that is due to the JFK airport properties, but I guess time will tell. See where we're releasing next. It would make a lot of sense to do Queens though, because we're just basically continuing east from Brooklyn, and effectively would be connecting Manhattan and JFK, which would be a big piece of the gameplay if you're traveling by car and train in kind of like an inner city type of interactive gameplay. Thanks for listening, guys. If the show brings you value, please like and subscribe to support, and I'll keep making them. And we'll be back on Monday with even more Oakland news and analysis.
Upland Real Estate Digest is an entertainment service. All views are for entertainment purposes only and not to be construed as financial advice. Upland Real Estate Digest is not affiliated with Upland.